Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new live stream, and welcome to Monday night here in Moscow, Russia. It's currently 10:41. Ooh, I'm very close to the microphone here. It's 10:41 p.m. and it's there's no temperature on my computer tonight. I was just going to let you know what the temperature is outside. I hope everyone's having a good day so far, or maybe morning, evening. It's currently -4 outside, and the real feel is -8. So depending on where you are in the world, that may feel really cold, or it might feel quite warm, depending on maybe you're in somewhere else in Russia where it's even colder than where I am. I hope everyone is having a nice day, and I hope you enjoy another live stream. I do get asked for them every day, particularly in the Telegram channel. When are you going to do another live stream? When's the next stream? And I seem to find that this later evening time is more suitable for live streams, and it just works out better. So yeah, Vladimiros, for you. Vladimiros, hello. What are you talking about? I guess you're asking me what was my topic of the live stream. I don't really have one tonight. So perhaps something may come up in the chat, and it might be worth chatting more about. I hope we can figure a way to fulfill the time more. Thank you for anyone who's put a like already on the live stream. Thank you so much. Also, people who did the poll. It was actually 100% and 0% when I last looked, and it's now 80-20. So 80, 79, 22, 78, 22. So yeah, I think people like supermarket tours. I actually went on 2 tours today. I went to 2 different supermarkets. Maybe I won't tell you where I went. Maybe if you were in the Telegram channel, Traveling with Russell channel, you would have seen at least one of the places that I went to, because I put a photo of it. Second place I went to go look at the shop and seeing if it was worth making a video, and I made one. And then I kind of figured that it was going to be worthwhile to stay a little bit later and do. The 2 shops were very close by each other, like 5 minutes walk apart. Adequate Xiaomi guy, thank you for a donation alert. You're almost like reminding me about donation alerts. I've got it always as a separate text box on my other monitor. Good evening, Russell. I didn't expect you to stream so soon. Glad to see you. Yes, I don't generally give much notice. I think the right thing to do is to give like 6 hours or 12 hours notice. People can plan their days around live streams and things like that. I've been doing them consistently about this time anyway, so it's kind of worked out all right. But donation alert, thank you so much. It's very nice of you. Adequate Xiaomi guy. I think you had another name on the chat when you did it yesterday, I believe. So thank you. Now, I should really ask, do you want me to put the donation alerts box on the screen? It's going to come up as a really big box, which is going to take a lot of the screen up. So maybe it's not suitable to do it, but it's possible. Luis, nice to see you. Nice to see you. You will be streaming. I was actually watching an old stream of yours, Life Without My Wife. Yes, I think that was when she went away for a few days. That was really, was that back in summertime? My wife went to the dacha with her friend. Was that the trip that she did? She went away for like 3 or 4 or 5 days with her friend to her friend's dacha. They went to the countryside, and it's just better. Ladies only, girls only. You know, they just talk endlessly. They drink wine. They have a good time. When are you going to get a cat? Janice, actually funny, yesterday when I was coming home, yesterday evening, there was a lady with a cat outside my apartment door downstairs, like a big ginger, like fluffy cat. And I spent maybe 5-10 minutes like saying hello to the cat. The lady and her husband were super nice. I'm not sure why she was just sitting outside with her cat, standing outside with the cat. And I did ask, can I borrow it? And the husband said, yeah, no worries. He understood English. And I think she didn't really get what I was saying about, can I just borrow the cat for a day or two? We have another friend who has a cat that we'd like to borrow also. But we're kind of waiting to get this apartment that we're trying to buy and then move in, and then we'll be able to kind of settle, and then we can figure out getting a cat at that point. CJ, like the shirt? Yes. This is my Fremantle Dockers shirt that I bought in Australia. I was really happy because the actual team colors are purple, and this one is dark gray. And it's opposite screen here. So Fremantle Dockers. These are their sponsors too. Woodside Energy is a offshore gas company. Bankwest is the bank that I don't have an account with this bank though. This is the competing bank to the one I have. And then Seacom is the name of the like football clothing and footballs and things like that. So Andrea, hello. How's it going to you in Sweden? Greetings from Korolov. Wish I knew you were here today. Yes, I was in Korolov. I went to 2 different stores in Korolov. I went to, one translated from Russian, English to Russian as garlic. I went to garlic supermarket, and they only had like one little box of garlics. Garlic? You call it garlics if there's more than one garlic? And then I went to another supermarket nearby, and then I walked all the way to the train station. What was it called? Bolshovo station. And then I got the express train to, what was it? I forgot which station I went to. It was where Komsomolskaya metro is. The 3 station there. Hello to all guys and girls. Let us go to the farm store. We don't really have one where I live here. You need to recommend a good one that I can go to that would be worthy of filming. So yeah, just going back to the donation alerts. If anyone wants to support the channel, you're more than welcome to use donation alerts. There's a link pinned also in the description. If you want to ask a question specifically, you're more than welcome to type it there. You don't have to put your name. You can be anonymous. Anybody in the world can use donation alerts. With super chats and super stickers and things like that, I'm pretty sure certain countries are excluded on YouTube now. So just be aware, depending on where you are, it may or may not work. So it is an option for you. Everything of what's coming through donations goes back into the channel, helps me go out today and make videos, buys me lunch, and then ultimately is to buy an apartment and make videos about the apartment and do the whole process of doing some renovating and stuff. So that's my goal. Actually, my goal, I had that dream, if anyone remembers, which was to do a fan-funded apartment purchase. And everybody on the YouTube channel needs to give, needs to give. If everybody gave 50 rubles or 50 cents or 50 euro cents each, we could buy an apartment tomorrow. That'd be amazing. And the way that a Russian system works, you can literally get the keys tomorrow night and move in. It could all happen that quickly. Wayne in Bucharest. Really like your videos. They're very interesting. Thank you, Wayne. Or Waynes. Thank you so much. I'm listening in the background while I work. David, I gave you another shout out on the new video that I filmed today. You'll have to wait to watch it. I gave you, I was going to mention like a champagne or a sparkling wine that had an Italian logo on it, but it was made in Russia. And then I found something else that I did it on anyway. You'll understand when you watch the video. Can you make a video about car prices and gasoline prices? I keep meaning to go to the local petrol station. It's only 5 minutes away. I feel like I'd be cheating everybody if I just went to my local one, which is only a walking distance from my place. That's the one on the highway where it's kind of like a runoff to turn into where we live. And then people go to the petrol station, people can get back on the highway. I think I'd cheat everybody by just going there, but that's what people do, right? Just go to a place, make a video. Car prices are pretty difficult to do in one video because there is, 1 million car dealerships here. I mean, there's probably 30, 40 car brands. And then to go to, a specific dealership would be a unique video or a one-off video. But to cover both in one video, it'd be hard. Healthcare works. It's free if you want free healthcare. There is also private healthcare. I don't really have any involvement with it because I've not been to a hospital and not had to go through any challenges and difficulties in my life. having read literally on the way home from the bus to my house when I walked home today, I heard that King Charles is in hospital and he's had some health issues. So I hope it doesn't something doesn't happen so quickly to him after him taking over. Very impressed by your bold confidence as you video around the shops. Does this come naturally? Yes, absolutely does. It would actually be even easier if someone filmed me and edited the video for me. If I could figure out a way to do that, or I can find somebody who would be happy to do that. I'm not sure how we'd work out like a compensation to pay someone to do it, but I could even make more videos, and I could make, probably with somebody's editing skills, could make more interesting, well, even more interesting videos, let's call it. Carlson in Moscow. Korolov is the place where I was today. That's the name of the micro district, I think it's called. Korolov. I'm glad to see you. Have a nice evening. Thank you, Rumble channel. I think most people here were on last night, I think. Unless somebody is new. Woman, same the world over. Yes, very true. They like to just hang out. Talkie. As my wife says it, talkie. Did I contact Konstantin from inside Russia? I've not chatted to him in a fairly long time. Where is that message? I just skipped over it because I really should just say hello to him, because just to, let him know I'm around. We used to live not too far from each other when he was living in Moscow. Pretty sure he did a video at one point when they had one of those drones go into a building, which was the apartment building next to his apartment building where he was living. I don't think he really revealed where it was, and it's not really my place to do that, but it's not too far. I would have to pass that area when I go to and from Moscow from where I live. Yeah, very nice guy. In person, I mean, he comes across quite serious on his live streams. In person, he's much funner, much more easygoing, much more relaxed. Whereas in his videos, he's quite topical, and obviously he chooses topics for his live streams, which is probably something I should do, but I don't. So Russell, Mac, hello, Mac Supreme. Andrea, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. I will put it on screen. Get a French Bulldog instead. My wife wants a dog, and we really wouldn't probably be responsible people who would need to go walk it multiple times per day, because obviously the dogs would get tired of being in the apartment so much. And dogs, you've got to go take for a walk. They got to go out and pee and poo and things like that. Whereas cats are a little bit more stay at home, and it's just a little bit more easier. Happy New Year. Long time since we've seen you. Oh, I've been busy. Hope you're healthy. From West Coast of Canada. Thank you, Tiamat. Yes. Yeah, no, I've done a few live streams in a row, and then I was doing them only once per week, and then it seems like they're very popular and, get a bit of a crowd. That makes sense. So, let me put Andrea's super chat up for 6. Thank you for the 56. Thank you, and kisses and hugs, whatever that is. Andrea, I know we chatted on Telegram today, so if anyone again wants to be in the Telegram chat, Traveling with Russell channel, post a comment. It takes you to a chat. There's people chatting all day, all night, every day. So if you ever want to just chat to somebody, jump in there and chat away. It's very friendly, very easy. Thank you, Men at Work. Oh, Land Down Under. Do you come from a land down under where women glow and men plunder? I always thought it was men chunder. Yes, Men at Work. So it's pretty much the unofficial Australian national anthem. Nowhere near the official one, unofficial one. But made very famous in 1983 when Australia won a yacht race called the America's Cup in Newport, Rhode Island, when we basically stole the cup, or stole the trophy, as the Americans said. We had some radical yacht design that nobody had ever heard of in the history of yachting, and we won the trophy. So if anyone wants a little bit of trivia, so the America's Cup is a trophy that's a yachting trophy that you could win every 4 years. I think they do it every 2 years now, but it was every 4 years. And America held that trophy consecutively for 100 years. It's the most single-held trophy by any team, sport, nation in the whole world. And Australia won it in 83, kind of quite shockingly. And then we lost it in 87 when we defended it. And it was in Fremantle, which is where I'm from in Australia. And I was there, I was quite young at the time. But that song was played over and over. And it was, anytime you go anywhere overseas or you go to a bar or even go to Bali, where there's a ton of Aussies, that comes on multiple times per night. And everybody just gets up and belts out the tunes of it. So thank you for the donation alerts. It's so nice to like reminisce like that. Thank you. Hello, everyone from the Telegram channel chat. Yes. Oh, yeah. David is a big part of that. When you're coming to Tula, I'm not sure, Alexander. I need to probably have better plans of when I do things. I do everything quite spare of the moment. Watching from Canton, Ohio. Thank you. Love pugs. And we're talking about cats. Yes, that's the train I took. Bolshevo to Yaroslavsky terminal. Yeah, and it was the express one as well. And I walked down to the platform, and there was only me and another lady who got on the train. Maybe a few other people came behind me, but it was really quite weird when I went up there because there was a lady yelling at me as I went through the gates with my ticket. Because I bought it off the ticket lady, and then she said, go up to platform 2, it was, I think, 3. I forgot what she said now, 2 or 3. Then there's another lady screaming at me saying, you're going on the wrong platform, thinking that I had only a ticket for the other train, which is every stop all the way to Moscow. And I had the express train, and it was very comfy chairs and very nice train ride. Love pugs, hello. A question about apartments. Okay, let me just put Andrew. Oh, I did put Andrea's up there, didn't I? Thank you. Men at Work and Adequate Charming Guy. Thank you, everybody, for super chats and donation alerts. Question about apartments. How many rooms? So the place where we're in now is considered a 2-room apartment. In Russia, they don't call them bedrooms. They just call them rooms. So technically, this place we're in is a 1-bedroom place because you can utilize the lounge room as a bedroom by pulling out the sofa to a bed, which is very, very common in Russia. And you could technically then have 2 rooms. We don't. We have a standalone bedroom, and then the lounge room here where we are. Where I would be kind of like a dining area, and there is actually the dining room table, well, the kitchen table in the kitchen there. The place what we want to buy is a 1-room place, but it's got a separate bedroom that whoever did the remodeling when it was first bought basically put a bedroom and a lounge room in the same space. And it's kind of very cozy because it's kind of like got a proper lounge room and it's got an open kitchen like this. So the kitchen comes into the lounge room, and then there's a bedroom, then a bathroom, plenty of storage. It probably needs a little bit of work in terms of the new wallpapering, new skirting boards, maybe new floors, at least this laminate flooring. But basically, if we did the wallpapering and the curtains, it would change the look of the place very quickly. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very strange thing. They call it rooms here, but it's really in the rest of the world, we call it bedrooms. Hello from Krakow, Poland. Dzień dobry. It's 3 stations in the same direction. Yes, Yaroslavl, Leningradsky, Kazansky. Yes, the square of 3 stations. Isn't it called that? Three Vaxal. And there's also a really cool food place there, food market, which I went to. Yes. So yeah, I know that actually. I was actually going to get off the train there and then go walk to the D4 and then take the D4 to Aprilivka, which I've done many times. And then when I come out from the platform in Leningradsky line, literally the entrance to the Komsomolskaya red line, which is the one I'd take home, was right there. So I'm like, oh, we'll just get on the metro. And it was less walking. From Turkey, you are our online guide. Thank you. You're in Turkey, or was it Turkey? Can't say really Turkey anymore, can you? You've got to have that little ooh at the end of it. Hello. Hello. A couple of yos and hellos. King Charles diagnosed with cancer today. I wonder if that was known or anything like that. Did anybody know about it before today? I just heard it. I had my headphones on listening to the radio between the bus and home, and they had like a English reporter like doing a bit of a thing, like a late night thing on the talkback radio that I listen to. Normally I just do that on the bus or just walking home. And he was talking about it. But I wonder if they knew about it or not. I'm curious if it's not just like a sudden thing. So Tringle Traveler, hello. Tringle. Nicholas in California. How's it going? Tucker Carlson is in Moscow and hopefully could get an interview with Putin. Yeah, I saw, actually this morning, I saw there was must have been a news reporter or TV reporter, saw him in the lobby of a hotel. I don't know how they knew he was there. Maybe someone does a ring around every hotel and asks, is he staying here? Is he staying here? Is he staying here? And they asked him, what are you doing? What are you here for? You know, things like that. He was didn't really answer too many questions, but, you know, I think possibly he's come to do that. Vitaly is here. Hello from Orlando. John B. I've stayed in Orlando a few times, right on iDrive. Right across, there's, I don't remember the name of the hotel now. It's quite a lot of years ago, but there was the Upside Down Museum was nearby. And then there was like a outlet mall, like an open air one. And there's a hotel across the road. Well, that's pretty general for iDrive, but I stayed there a few times in the same hotel. Joanna, hello. Lots of regulars from Telegram here. Tucker Carlson, I think, ex-BBC host from the US. He was interviewing President Putin today in Moscow. How do you know that? I didn't look at any news from coming home today. Literally from where I left my last shop in, well, I went to two places. It took me exactly 3 hours to get home. 6:11, I left PM, and I got home at 9:15. I walked in the door here. So it took me 3 hours to get home. And that was, okay, I probably walked a good 20 or more minutes, which I could have caught a marshrutka or a little local bus. I didn't realize it was going to the same place I was. Tesla's rule. Hello from Finland, Mr. Jamo. Yeah, I guess you watched the Tesla video. I like doing these car dealership ones. I really don't know much about them, but you learn a lot while you're there on the fly. Gracias. Respect to all. Yes. Todos los relojes, all of the watches. I remember that from cruise ships. We'd always do like a watch sale once a week. And we'd always say, all the watches are for sale. Hello from Pennsylvania. Oh, everybody in the US. Maryland. I would say it's like I'm trying to say Maryland, and it's Maryland, right? But it's not Maryland. It's Maryland. Pugs are good apartment dogs. Yes. What's the petrol price? 92 octane gasoline costs about $2 a gallon or 50 cents a liter here. Yes. Yeah, about 50 or so rubles, depending on where you go, right? There's different prices in the different brands of petrol stations. Not sure which is the one that we've got here. I don't have a car, so I don't really go to that petrol station. Hello. Brandon, Looney Tunes fan. It's a long channel name if that's your YouTube channel name. Love the group Men at Work. Yes, they only really they made a few albums, but Land Down Under was pretty much the kind of the main breakout song in the history of Men at Work. They're probably living off the checks from that now. I saw that he's here. Yeah, I saw that he was here to go to the Bolshoi Theater. And then I saw that it looked like someone's phone footage that they were filming him at maybe the lobby of a hotel. It looked like this morning I saw that. 98 octane here. What beard? Where beer does flow and men chunder. Yes. Where women glow and men blunder. Yes. Where beer flows and men chunder. If anyone doesn't know, chunder is like when you're sick. Or projectile sick. It's an Australian slang word. Or maybe it's a couple other countries. I always had problems with this sourness of East German food, like vinegar in the stews. Did you experience with the Australian tongue in Russia? Yeah, look, I will eat anything once and give it a try. And then if I don't like it, I won't eat it again. Particularly like over New Year now. And then we went to a friend's birthday and she does like crazy table of food. And a lot of the different salads do tend to be pickled and in vinegars and things like that and brines. I just don't eat them again. And it does look bad that I don't like things, but, you know, I just don't like them. So My next country to live in will be staying here or going back to Australia. I won't choose anywhere else because it's just too difficult to up sticks and move. To go and live physically somewhere. What's the price of a new apartment? That's pretty crazy, impossible to answer, because new here is where they haven't even built the building, and you can buy them off plan, and that's very common, particularly in bigger cities. And then you can buy them obviously when the building is finished and the keys are handed over, but the interior is not built, and then you can buy them what's called the secondary market, which means a house that someone else has lived in or apartment. For a walk, I went to go around the near lake, 27 kilometers in 5 hours. That's a lot of walking. It was also slippery to go walking hard. I feel exhausted. Yes. Yeah, I walked from, even just walking to that train station today, I think it was about 15, 20 minutes. It was probably more like half an hour, because I knew where I was going, but I didn't know the area or the street or what the condition of the footpaths are like. Your supermarket videos are very interesting. Thank you. From Greece. So in Russia, they do not drywall their apartments on houses. Yes, they do. No, not drywall, no. They're basically brick or internal brick, and then they plaster them. And then most people put wallpaper, so you don't have to do that plaster finish to do painting. It's very, especially in apartments, it's very, very uncommon, or not common, to do painting on walls. It's just easier to wallpaper it, and then you can have every color you like under the sun wallpaper-wise. Yeah, you won't find, occasionally people that buy apartments off plan where they put the walls up themselves, they may do metal frames and then do plasterboard with insulation in between. But it's just easier and quicker, essentially, to do the internal blocks or internal walls. You speak Polish? No, my grandparents were Polish, so I know like do widzenia and jak się masz and dziękuję and just a few words. Where did you live in the US? I was working on cruise ships, if you're asking me. So I didn't really live anywhere. I've holidayed in different places, in Orlando, in Vegas, in Colorado, Hawaii. When I wasn't working on the cruise ships at the time, I did that. So yeah, I lived on the ship and then cruised in and out of the ports a lot, big ones and small ones. I also enjoy the holiday ones. Oh, yeah, when we went to Ufa on summer holidays. I just joined Great Minds Think Alike. Thank you, Yulia. Yes, I'm here. Do you live in Moscow or in an oblast? Yes, I'm in Moscow region, Narofominsk Oblast, I guess it's called. Narofominsk region, I think, is what we say, but Moscow Oblast or Moscow region. Tell us, it's really difficult, Julia, to do healthcare things. You need to find somebody who's already covered that on a YouTube video, I think. Is your PayPal address equal to the one you show hint below live streams? Yes, that is my PayPal address. That goes to then my PayPal app on my phone, and then I can then put it in my Australian bank account, and it all works like that. It's actually quite straightforward, the PayPal thing, from my end here and then my end in Australia, because I've got it set up on my phone. I've got it set up on my bank. If you want to use PayPal, you show hint below. Yeah, so yeah, I've got the PayPal. I've even got Boosty, which somebody asked me to put a Boosty account, but I don't really promote that. What's the other one? Not PayPal. I don't even know what all the other ones are. Is that all of them? I think it is. PayPal or Buy Me a Coffee. I know Marlena does Buy Me a Coffee every now and again. And then the Amazon thing is, if anyone happens to shop on Amazon, click the link. I get maybe 1/4 cent if you buy something on Amazon through that link. It costs nothing to do that. It's just a way to support content creators. There's a affiliate link through Amazon. Main difference between Russian and Australian supermarkets: bigger selection here, bigger selection. There's just aisles, especially bigger hypermarkets, aisles and aisles of food, a lot more fresh food, a lot more things that are done in the supermarket. So the bakery does all the bread, butcher does all the meat, fishmonger does the fish. The supermarket I went to today had a cafe or restaurant inside with the food that they sell in the restaurant in the supermarket, so it kind of goes hand in hand. Australian supermarkets now are just becoming pallet deliveries, put it on the shelf. The supermarket I was working in, were getting rid of the butchers, and all the meat's pre-packed in another site and then just put on the shelves. So there's less and less, customer interaction with the customers and the people that work there. Tucker Carlson's a strange guy. Yeah, I guess he's opinionated. I don't really watch any of his stuff to really have an opinion about him. Keep up your fantastic work from the United Kingdom. Thank you. Dylan, you were here yesterday as well. Wonderworks. Yes, John B. Across the road from Wonderworks was the hotel I stayed in. It was actually kind of like I wouldn't call it a resort, but had like standalone buildings. It's a really good location in between iDrive. How much is a rent for a single room apartment in Moscow in a decent area? I don't know decent areas. Everywhere's decent. It's just the connectivity with buses and trains and metros and what's convenient for you to go from one place to another for work or school, or whatever you're doing if you're going to use public transport. A single room would basically be a what do you call this? A studio, which really isn't a separate bedroom. It's the lounge room, bedroom, kitchen, everything. That would be around about, well, depending on the area, I guess, 20,000 rubles, so $200 a month, maybe 30,000, maybe up to 40,000 rubles. I wouldn't say they're that high for that's probably not in the center of Moscow. That's out in the suburbs. 30,000 rubles a month. I think Tucker was on Fox, not a BBC. Yes. How is going to Russia in terms of security for people to still bother regular men and women on the streets? I'm not sure what that word in Russian is, but look, honestly, I can walk around like I did today, no problems. You see the security in the metro. You see, by buildings. You see them in shopping centers. It's really not a thing. I mean, if you're doing the wrong thing, you're going to have problems. People don't. People just go about their business, go about their day. People go to work, go home, go out, go home. There isn't, even I actually looked at when I came out of the metro station today, there wasn't people lingering. My metro station wasn't really people lingering around. There wasn't people sleeping on chairs or anything like that. They've got a system set up with cameras and surveillance where if they want to find you, they will, Just curious, and he's from Cupertino. Oh, maybe you're talking about Tucker Carlson. Hello from France. Hello. Now I'm behind on the chat. Sorry. Hello in France. Prigozhin. Hello. Hello. You guys saying hello. Just curious. Okay. Love your videos. I'm anxious about current events. Your videos calm me, and I remember that everyone is just trying to get by. Yes, Matthew. That's very true. And even today, I went 3 hours across Moscow to a supermarket, came 3 hours home, and you see the people just, doing their thing, going home, going out, going somewhere. I always curious where everyone's going when, the millions of people that use the metro per day. It's just convenient, and it works. Maryland. No, I've not been in America enough in the last few years to feel like I remember the word now. If you're typing in Russian, I can't read it. So I'm sorry, I can't read it. I'm sorry. You're happily able to do it. And I know there's plenty of people in Russia who read Russian and read and write it. Not of supermarket restaurant videos lately. Maybe do one on the metro. Yulia, yes. But that's my channel, though. That's my thing. The ones that I'm doing are different. The one particularly today that I went to was a supermarket that's probably never on YouTube, and no one knows about it. And it's a new type of store, quite similar to other concepts of stores. So that's a little bit my point, is to go to different unique stores that have a different look, feel, brand type in them. The metro one, I'm just trying to think how I should do it. Should I just do like the top 10 stations, metro stations in Moscow video, like go to Mayakovskaya, go to Platz Revoluция and stuff like that? Bebel, you said you don't have a car. Is that by choice or what? Yes, by choice it is. Yeah, I can perfectly get around on public transport. It honestly wouldn't have been really that much quicker to drive across Moscow today. It was in the northeast of Moscow, outside Moscow region, than it would have been on the train and the bus. I mean, I could probably have picked a little bit more efficient way to get there, but it wouldn't have been any easier. And you just have to sit in traffic and put up with lots of, I wouldn't say crazy drivers, basically unskilled drivers. Hello in Colorado. Hello. Ooh, San R. Wow, here in Greece, I pay around $1.90 a litre. Yes, in Australia too, it's crazy price. Yeah, it's 50 cents US, well, 50, 60 cents, let's call it here. That's 60 cents a litre. Depends on where you go. Never knew what chunder was until today. Thank you, yes. So it's basically when you're, well, let me say some bad words. It's not bad words. It's just not polite words to say. When you spewing, that means you're being sick. In Australia, we call it having a chunder. Go and have a chunder. It's not nice, but it's just Aussie slang. Online for a convenient time and come to the doctor. Yes, for healthcare, right. Dream Island. I'm trying to go to Dream Island. You don't have to go inside the actual theme park. Just go to the shopping center. I was at Metro Technopark about probably a month ago now with Joanna, who's in the live stream here. She has Ivanka is her name, I think, on the chat. We actually walked through there because she hadn't been there. We were going on the electric river tram in the park next to Dream Island. And we walked through that shopping center, and we didn't go in the theme park, of course, because you've got to pay tickets. If anyone would magically like, I talked to her about it, that I'm trying to arrange with the press of that place to get a ticket. And I've emailed, and I'm waiting for replies. And I keep sending more emails. But if anyone wants to just pay for me a ticket, I'll happily just go tomorrow. But yes, I mean, honestly, you could make a video without going in the theme park because it's kind of it feels like you're in downtown Disney, not downtown Disney. What's the other one? Islands of Adventure. That downtown area when you walk into Islands of Adventure in Orlando, it feels like that, but it's inside with a roof on the top. Hello from Savannah, Georgia. Just a good idea. Thank you, Dylan. Yes. Do they show American sports on TV live? No. I watch it through streaming on the internet, and pretty much anyone that would want to watch it. Like last night, I watched the Live Golf, last round of the golf. And that I watched, basically it was 3-hole playoff, right? With Sergio Garcia, Martin, what's the other guy's name? Jaakko Nieminen? Maybe that's not his name. So you won't get, maybe the Olympics you'd get, maybe the World Cup you would. Very big major sports, but anything else you can just watch it streaming. Hi Russell, 8:10 yesterday. I'm not sure what that means, but thank you. Was the COVID lockdown in Australia as draconian as they made it seem? In Melbourne, in other states, it was probably a lot worse. I was in Perth. I was still able to go to work because I worked in supermarkets, so I was able to go to work. Perth wasn't necessarily locked down because we didn't have COVID cases for a long time, and they didn't have to do these crazy lockdowns like they did over in Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney. Melbourne was the most locked down city in the world. Perth was a lot because we didn't have cases, because our port was closed, our airport was closed, our border was closed, only to people with passes to come in and out. So there wasn't people entering the state to bring COVID there. So Perth got very lucky, and we should really thank our government for what they did to get to that point. People don't like the government for doing lockdowns, but, it kind of was necessary at different points. Claudio, thank you so much. Collaboration to the new apartment. Yes. This is what the whole current goal is, really, through YouTube as well, and making videos a little bit quicker on the channel to try to basically get more views and get more engagement in the videos. So thank you. Yes. Celebrate your 3rd super on a live stream. That's kind of cool. Thank you so much, Claudio. Sorry, I can't show your name or picture here. But in Russia, they block those icons. There's some thing that causes them to be blocked. Greetings from Romansk. I'm 50 years old now and have started to get a pension. I think it's older in Australia, though. I think that maybe he could go to the theme park too. Yes, my point is to try to go to the theme park to make the video. I think a lot of people would be like, maybe, okay, that place is amazing without going in the theme park. And then also the park outside is pretty neat too. Lisa would love a Russian YouTuber rents an old Soviet apartment for $400 a month, so $40,000. You think that is too expensive? No, it's probably a one-room apartment, maybe in a Khrushchev. I'm not sure the building, what she has in her videos, to know what type of building it is. So that's 40,000 rubles, $400. So yeah, I mean, that's probably one room, so maybe between about 30 and 40 square meters. So that's, you know, for one of the areas around Moscow, maybe reasonably near a metro station. That's about right. I'm not sure where she is in Moscow or which type of building she's in. So I can skip lots. Is crime high in Moscow? I don't think it is. I think a lot of people know that if you do something wrong, there's a very more serious problem if you end up going to prison or get sentenced and things like that. So there isn't as high a crime as definitely in other countries. What age do people get the pension? I think it's in 65. I know they keep pushing the year a little bit later every last few years. I think it's 65. 64, 66. Yulia, hello. Is there a Russian Tinder at all? I'm not sure. I could learn the language and she could live here with me. Women use the regular bub. I don't know anything about if there's Russian Tinder. I'm sure there's something. Whiskey Blade, hello. A Whisker Blade. Whisker Blade. That's like for like a shaving stick. Claudio, yes, hello. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Super chats, donation alerts. Okay, PayPal. What's the other one? Boosty. Buy me a coffee. I've kind of got them all set up because people kept asking for each different one every time I didn't have it. So from my famous Moscow kitchen, this is not, it's really the other apartment that was more famous because of the yellow and green background. And then the fact that there was the glass windows right there. Basically, this balcony, which is here on that apartment, they took away the window and the wall where this balcony is, and then literally it extended the size of the kitchen. Does it cost a lot more for a Russian to drive or in payments of vehicles insurance than? I don't have a car, so I don't know that answer. I'm sorry. I don't have a car. It's difficult to answer specific things like that. There's no American sport. There is European ones. I'm watching the Italian football right now. Oh, okay. Maybe there is. Maybe on different satellite TV channels. Roma and Cagliari. I understand about the supermarket videos. I have just noticed that sometimes you go to similar. Yeah, I have done that with Pitorichka because each Pitorichka has a bit of a different feeling to it and different size to it. And I've done that with Globus because Globus is the main hypermarket in the shopping center that I pass through a lot. But most of the others are all single one-off videos. Will I do nature videos? I'll go to some more parks, Randy, for sure, in summertime. Videos, thank you. Please keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Ekaterina. What advice do you have for people interested in immigration through the real estate investment? Yeah, I've heard about this. Like this, it's a lot of money to get to that point. Like the amount that they want you to invest is quite a lot. I guess you would really need to use a migration lawyer because you're going to need to figure out how to bring that amount of money to Russia. It's not as easy as just doing multiple trips with $10,000 at a time each trip. Yeah, I know that's a possible thing, but I don't think a lot of people take it up because it's a very high amounts of money. Maybe more than, that's the point of these golden visas, right? It's got to be a fairly sizable amount. Ivan, thank you. Or Ivan, thank you for showing all these nice places in Moscow. I'll be visiting Russia next month. Maybe I'll see you in a Pitorichka or Kuznetsovka. Yes, There's a lot of Pitorchkas, and there's a lot of Kuznitochkas as well. And then actually the last 2 days while I've been out and about, I noticed a lot more of the KFCs have now become Rostiks. And that Rostik sign really stands out. They've made it a lot bigger on some of the locations. I saw quite a few of them today, actually, because I took a bus quite a fair way from the metro station to go to that supermarket today. So, yeah, Rostiks is what was KFC. Kuznitochka is what was McDonald's. Yeah, you never know. Thank you for the super chat, really and truly. Your first super on a live stream. Is anyone seeing that underneath the donations that it says that? Thank you so much. Sorry, I looked to the other screen because I can see the statistics here. And then I'm looking at well, not really looking at myself, but I'm looking at the chat. I'll be in Orlando next week for a convention. I will miss your lives. Well, yeah, Claudio, I'm not sure if I'll keep doing them at this time every night. People like doing them. I will keep doing them. If not, not. I'll go back to my Saturday or Sunday ones. But thank you for the super chat. Are there many Russian speakers in Australia in cities such as Melbourne? I know for Perth, we met a lot of Russians because we were part of a Russian Facebook group, and my wife had a lot of Russian clients that came to do nails. We had a salon in our apartment in Australia, so we met Russians naturally through my wife. I wouldn't say there's a lot of them. Pretty much most of them were maybe married to, it was kind of pretty much the Russian girl married to Australian guy and live in Australia. Not necessarily you'd meet a Russian family where it was both people from Russia. They all spoke Russian, of course, but they speak English as well, which is really a necessity. It would be kind of a reverse struggle to come to Australia not being able to speak English. Probably easier, though, going to Australia than it would be coming to Russia, but do as many supermarket tours as possible so liars can claim you only show the ones that are stocked. Yeah, that's the idea, is to create kind of a playlist of different brands of the supermarkets, like the different chains of them. There are Russians in Israel. Yes, I have a friend who lives in New South Wales. Unfortunately, he passed away in April. I do miss my chats with my Aussie friend. Love Pug. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, we're different character. We're very funny. We're very joking. We're very not serious a lot. I know my neighbor Gleb. I always would be laughing and joking with him, and then he finally realized that I'm joking way more than we're talking seriously with each other. How I don't know who Lord How is. Well, it would be fun to shop with. Yeah, I'm not really probably the best shopper, but I'm very good at going to shopping centers and supermarkets and different places, and especially someone that comes to Moscow and wants to go somewhere, I can take them to that place. Spoilers with content for one. Yes. Yeah, live streams, and then I'm going to have a video 100% tomorrow, because I've not even touched the 2 videos that I filmed today on my phone. I didn't even edit on the bus coming home. The actual theme park, just the shopping area, which is free to, yes. I know this place really well. I've been there a few times. Off now. I probably won't see you answer my comment. Oh, sorry, Yulia, if I'm behind a hockey game, but I want to see everything at the souvenir stands. Yeah, ice hockey is pretty easy to go to. I'm not sure if there'll be soccer depending on the season when you come. Spain, is it okay to go on a tourist? Yes, absolutely. Come on a tourist visa. Yes, completely safe. Just dress appropriately for the weather. When will we see videos from the nightlife in Moscow? I don't go out. Parties and clubs and concerts. That's not my thing, Spiru, at all. Even my wife's thing. Do you like Perth? Yes, I do. It's my home city. Absolutely do. Beautiful place in the world. It is beautiful. Yeah, whoever tells you it's true, when you go there, you'll understand why. In America, pushing it to 70. Yeah, I don't think it's that high in Australia, though. What you can say about venomous... yes, spiders, snakes. Spiders are more the problem. Snakes are really not in suburban areas unless you live in an area with bushland and, scrub, as we call it. I don't like spiders at all. It's good to see you again. Thank you, Mott. Yes. I also like to watch a good game of rugby. Yes, I'm going to watch I think someone told me it's this coming weekend is the Super Bowl, so I'll definitely figure out watching that. Juve. Lazio and Juve. Russian food stuff videos. Like your reaction to holodiets. Oh, yeah, my wife would enjoy that. Just me watching me with not even watching it on a video. She'll enjoy seeing my reaction to having holodiets. I don't like it at all. Sarajevo is my nearest metro station. It's about 25 minutes by bus to Sarajevo metro station, which is the red line south. I guess Russia, I tend to go local restaurants. Yes, Pilmeni are my downfall. Teramok. Like you're showing a great guy. Thank you, Dennis. Cheers. I appreciate that. Would be good. Yes. I'm in New South Wales, JR. Now, do you think Russian bookshops would be an interest for your audience? Probably not. There is a couple of really cool ones in the center of Moscow. The one very close by the Central Children's Store. There's like a 3-level bookstore that my wife loves to go to. There's also bookshops in the shopping centers as well, right? Oh, I'm caught up to the chat. Have I? Yes. Crazy. What are your thoughts on Tucker Carlson visiting Moscow? Are you going to meet him? I didn't really. I know of him from TV. I've never watched him. I've never followed him on television and his thoughts and thinking and talking. And so I wouldn't know where he is, what he's doing. I'd probably walk past him and not realize in the street if he was wearing like a beanie and a hat and a jacket and stuff. An American former Soviet who's spending time making kvass, solyanka, and buckwheat. Wow, that's pretty cool. If you can make all those things to keep other insects out. Yeah, it's like in Bali. There's always like the geckos, and we got them in Australia too. The geckos and lizards, the ones that climb up the hotel walls. And the geckos keep the mosquitoes at bay. I don't drink vodka, no. Even for New Year, I didn't. I had beer on New Year's Eve. We had the New Year's party at our friend's place. They were drinking vodka. I wasn't. Yes, real estate content, the truth teller. Yeah, the hardest thing is to get a real estate agent who would be happy to let me film in apartments. I mean, I have contacted a few and they're not willing to do that. My wife has tried with her clients who are real estate agents and they don't want to either. So I need to come across somebody who's just willing to let me go film some of the available apartments or houses for sale. It sounds so easy and so simple, but it's not. Hello. It's a wonderful hello. Wow, I like the fact that I'm a bit caught up. Wow, we do not watch the NFL or especially Super Bowl. Hey, yes. Yeah, there's a bit going on with all of that from the Super Bowl, well, about NFL and things like that, which I know, I understand, but it's what it is, I guess. But thanks for all you've done at one point, or maybe you're retired now, I'd imagine. Sergeant Rocco, maybe that's how your name come about too. Fly. What are your favorite internation restaurants in Moscow? I don't go to restaurants very often, very honestly. If we go out like with my wife and we go to a shopping center, we'll go to the eat markets, which are like the fancy food courts in the shopping centers. I like to have Thai food, or that po, like the big noodle soups. No, Tucker came to Moscow to find me, like a reverse. He wants to know about all these supermarket videos. Do I have a desire to learn the language? Yes, I'd like to learn more. It's difficult because I'm older and I don't absorb the information as well. I do that for other things, not necessarily the language. Good, let's drink someday. I'll teach you. I'm in Moscow. Thank you, Sergey. I really couldn't be taught to drink vodka, so I'll just enjoy the first few, and then I'll be very bad and very, well, not necessarily drunk, but I won't be able to handle the drinking of the vodka later on in the day or evening. Favorite Russian dish? Pilmeni. My wife made nice crab salad over New Year, and normally she does a lot of Olivia salads, but we did crab salad a little bit more this year, and that was very nice. Your videos make me and my former Soviet family very happy and a bit Soviet nostalgic. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you want to help the channel in any way, that's really completely up to you. Just know that it goes back into the channel, and it has basically funded all the different equipment that I've used here, which I didn't buy just the cheap thing from, there's no Kmart in Moscow, but I bought the better quality stuff that I know is better quality and stronger and lasts longer, and I'm not going to cheap out on something just to save a few bucks. I'd rather get a better quality something and then know it's going to last and it's better for what I'm filming and doing. Even right down to the phone bracket here, this is a spare one in case this one actually breaks. You can buy like the cheap one off Wildberries or like Amazon or Marketplace, whatever. But I got the Manfrotto one, which is a very famous Italian brand of phone brackets. This one's cool because it's actually got the tripod mount on the side if you want to use it, and on the top. And then I can clip my microphone onto this as well. So that's really the whole point of where donations go to. Ultimately to my apartment. Well, my wife and I's apartment. I had the idea of buying one on my own without my wife's help, but that's too difficult in terms of trying to fan fund it and raise the money and do all of this. I really need my wife's help to do things. So unless there's some angel who won the lottery somewhere watching my channel. Hello from South Africa. Nicholas, you should make a video of you having a braai. That would be very cool. And if there's a South African in Moscow who wants to have a braai and have some boerewurst and have some spaletta and have some Mrs. Ball's chutney. I should have bought a bottle of that in Australia and brought it back with me. Mrs. Ball's chutney. My gosh. Oh, yeah. I've been to South Africa twice on holiday, by the way. You'll be harassed, and he has many enemies. The guy likes to attack others and get audience because of that. Interesting. Yeah, I guess he's very polarizing. Is that the right word? How often do I meet Russians that speak English? Quite often, especially where, like today, I met channel subscribers when I was at one of the shops. Guy on the bus on the way home today, he actually was telling off a lady for talking too loud on the phone. He talked English. Not every person. I don't interact with a lot of people to know if they speak English or not. It's normally only when I need help. Like buying the train ticket was very difficult because the words I was explaining, maybe she didn't realize I was saying, about the train and the platform and things like that in Russian words. There are temples. Yes, there are churches in Russia. Absolutely. And in Moscow. Yeah, vodka equals chunda. Possibly, yes. Yeah, it depends on what you eat leading up to that and after that. Red Army Colonel, uncle, a bottle of Kalashnikov. My wife's name is Kalashnikov, by the way. Kalashnikova, actually. Shaped like a weapon. Yes, you can get those glass. I've seen them here. You can get actually even pistols, like a revolver or a pistol with the vodka in as well. Yeah, 50,000. Yeah, $500. That's about right. Yeah, probably. I'd say they may be a little bit cheaper here. I don't know, but I've seen them, but they're not in all shops. You'd have to go to a specialty store to find them. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, my wife's last name is Kalashnikova or Kalashnikov. That's why I was always worried when I met her dad, to improve their English. Oh, I'm not sure if people are doing that. Out of curiosity, do they sell beer? Yes, with the melon. The Russian McDonald's. I think at KFC they do, or Rostix. At Burger King they do, 100%. KFC they do. McDonald's, Kuznetochka, I don't think they do. Actually, I feel like I think they might do, but I don't think they promote it on the board. Definitely Burger King and KFC do, 100%. If we can use some of your footage of the 100 restaurant. Guess guess depending on how you're going to use it and how you're going to link back to my channel. I guess that's the key to it, right? Because a lot of people use the footage and don't even put a link. Even where people put a story on Zen News, they don't link to the channel or put the video on their links, and that makes me very upset, because you've got to basically mention the original creator. Yes, 300 to 600 rubles. Vodka is cheap in Russia. Yes. You spend more to make it fancier for a gift. That's very true. I also a good review of your latest McDonald's restaurant. Yeah, I do not like strong alcohol. It makes, yes, not everybody does. Thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed doing that video. I knew I was intentionally going to that location to film that video, so I kind of had that plan going there. That's what I like to do now a little bit more, is know what I'm going to do when I go. I do tend to make a little bit of an up as I go along, where I see something to film or talk and say something. But like today, I went to one supermarket intentionally, and then I popped into another one, and then it ended up staying and making a video, and then obviously getting back quite a lot later than I thought. Because I had to do it while I was there, because I'm not going to come 3 hours across Moscow to film it on another day, so how do Russians celebrate birthdays? Do they have cakes? Yes, cakes are huge. Cakes and snacks and things like that. Yes, definitely do. My wife, like for my birthday and her birthday, we have a cake lady in the other building. She does cake decorating from home, so we order something from her, like custom cakes. She has like an Instagram page and does that. But you can buy cakes at every supermarket, like the pre-made ones in a plastic container with a little bow on them and stuff. Yes, okay, definitely, absolutely. I just don't remember about Kuznetsy Tochka, though. I feel like I hadn't seen it there. Is your wife Russian? Yes, she is. Yes, she's from Ufa. What do you do if you win the lottery? Which property would you live? If I won the lottery, I would really love to live in Moscow City in one of those like 50, 60, 80-story buildings. I think just because of that location and that view and how crazy high you are, probably not overly practical for going to supermarkets, although there is some in that area. Yes. I mean, look, it's all about in Moscow and Moscow region, how close you are to transport and how much you use it. I mean, I don't have a car, so I rely on buses and trains and metros. I don't know if that's, I have to ask my wife. I think she'd want to live somewhere right there, like Sverskaya Street or somewhere in one of the, in the Stalinkas, in the older, very Russian-looking buildings, very thick stone walls. I'll have to ask her where she's dreaming. You have to ask her if I bring her on a live stream. That question. Before you make no. Oh, well, I went once on a cruise ship to St. Petersburg, and we did a day bus trip where we went to Catherine the Great's Peterhof Palace, and we went to the Hermitage in a few hours, which you need days and days and weeks to go there. I didn't have any thought or plan to come ever. No, it just was part of a cruise ship trip that I did. It was never on my mind or thoughts. They picked up on protests in Belgium. They're currently, I know the thing in France is going on. I know that's been briefly on news that I've watched in France. I'm not sure about Belgium, though. Today I'm late, but watching you from Kenya. Beatrice, hello from Kenya again. Maybe you were on yesterday, right? Or the day before? Can't eat without wine or beer. Do you see airline reviewers? Yes, I watched that before I came live. Jimbo. He's in Russia. He probably isn't here now. He probably filmed that. It looks like the weather. That's not the current weather here. That was either a few weeks ago or a month ago or 2 months ago. But yeah, he only flew from Kazakhstan to Moscow, right? So he didn't fly that far, a few hours. And then he stayed in Hotel Ukraine, which is right there by the Moscow River. Beautiful spot. The building is amazing. Crazy, amazing building. Then he took the metro. I watched the video. I mean, he went to the Kuznetsy Tochka there in Alexander Garden, which I've walked past many times, and I've eaten in there as well. So I know exactly where he walked. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never watched him before now, but it got recommended to me, that video. So I kind of just scrubbed through and watched it. And he came through Sheremetyevo, which is where we flew back from Australia through as well. And where he went out to the taxi there and got scammed. That's every person that doesn't know what to do to get a taxi out of the airport. I should make a video about that, about transport from the airport to Moscow. No, those guys, what they do is they book you a Yandex and give you the plate number of the car that'll come and pick you up. And they take a fee to do that. Then you pay the driver. And obviously he probably got mixed up or confused with it. Call Food City in Moscow. Yes. It's going to be ready. When is the new video going to be ready? I'm not sure because I need to arrange with somebody for me to come there. So I really need to just go there and go to their office and speak to them. And then I will be able to film there. I haven't been there for a while because I've really been trying to go to other places. Food City is quite easy for me to go to, by the way. I can get a bus and then catch a free bus there. Yeah, it's a huge food market. I wonder, Vitaly, I'm sure you've been there and you don't love it because it's too big. I wonder what your opinion is of Food City. Yeah, farmers. Yeah, without farmers, we don't eat. Yes, that's very true. What kind of interesting microphone is this? This is an Australian microphone. Is it working? Testing. Is it working? Someone say it's working and I'll see on the... You broke it. Yes. Someone asked me about the microphone and it's not working. Oh my gosh. It works. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, everybody who just said yes. Yeah, it's a Rode microphone. And it's really all fan funded through super chats and things like that. Belgium. Thank you, Men at Work, for super donation alerts. Belgium, might as well buy some bread from a man in Brussels. Might as well buy some bread. Oh, and he's 6'4" and full of muscles. I'm pretty sure I got it. Thank you, Men at Work. Yes. It's left the Russian presidential administration building and spending more than an hour inside. Oh, there we go. Oh, Ivanitsa. This is one of the news. Oh, thank you. Do you speak Russian? Malenki Poruski. Chut Poruski. Or if I really don't know, Yeti Pinyamaya. I don't know. Sometimes talk about how someone can get a job in Russia or education. I don't really know those steps because I've never had to go through the education thing. I know there's other YouTubers that do that, but it's not really what I cover because it's a lot of work to make that video if it's not part of what I do on a daily basis. By the way, Vitaly doesn't sell. VIT doesn't sell alcohol because they are sort of a family restaurant. Oh, Kuznetochka. Thank you. That makes sense. Do you eat at Russian restaurants that are for people on a budget? That would be an interesting one. Yeah, I guess you mean like stolovas. Occasionally I go to one. Normally when I'm out on my own, I'll find somewhere to go and do that. Like 6% in a restaurant cooking or maybe a hotel doing hospitality work. Wow. If someone could figure that out for me. Pokrovsky Hills, by the way, would be cool if we will make a tour of Pokrovsky Hills. I don't know that place. I'll have to look it up. We would like you in the description. We'd link you in the description about the 100 Stoy by Mirotok, a McDonald's copycat. Okay, if you can do that and link back to the channel or give a shout out in the video. I'd live to do a collab sometime. I've lived in the center of Moscow for 17 years. Harry, wow. I don't really do collabs with other YouTubers because it doesn't help each other. And that's why even the circle of friends that I've got from YouTube, we don't go on each other's videos. No, I met my wife in Thailand when I was on vacation. So yeah, not at all. It would make sense to meet a Russian girl working on a cruise ship because everybody's dream is to do that. Russian bar waitress, ideally, or Russian cabin stewardess. Hello from St. Petersburg. Thanks for the stream. Thank you. Follow you and watch your videos on YouTube and Telegram. Beatrice, thanks. And you're also in the Telegram group. Nice to see you here. Have you heard about Tim Kirby? I've heard about him. I've not heard anything about it since quite a while. So I've just seen a YouTube video here and there. It's very much pie in the sky, big dreams, it's not simple what he's wanting to do. Slow and letting me. Yeah, I'm very slow at catching everybody. Now I'll go through all this sound stuff. And Mike from Down Under. We're back. Yes. Rode make their microphones in Australia. Yes. Pretty sure this metal thing, the boom arm isn't, but do you know there's a food expo, product expo? Yes, taking place in Moscow City. I've done videos. I've got a whole playlist of conventions, food product expo I know about. Yeah, I'm not sure the date. I think it's either this month or next month. I didn't check up on any conventions this last week. Sorry, I'm going to take a quick drink, and I'm going to get even more behind on the chat. By the way, I've got Chernogolovka Baikal today, which is very, very, very Russian typical cola with a hint of pine cone. Can you see on the side there? And I brought that from the supermarket all the way home. I planned to drink it on the train, on the bus on the way home, and I never did. Why? But I always watch your videos about malls, shops. Funny because I live in Moscow. Yes, Alexei, that seems to be a thing. And it's also a thing that everyone who watches can't understand why it's a thing. Hi, from Lauren, Maryland. Hello. Want a bit of my sandwich? Yeah, Vegemite sandwich. Yeah, I can't remember how it goes. Vegemite sandwich. I can't really give the words. Yeah, some Vegemite sandwich. We don't hear you. Am I still not? No. Yeah, it's all working, right? Yes. How many steps have you done today? I didn't wear my watch. My watch is sitting right here, and I didn't wear my watch today. Actually, I think it's now got no battery even. It's not charged. When I actually went to check it before I left, it only had like 10 or 15% battery. So I didn't wear it to check my steps today. Oh, it'd be cool to meet. You're not a YouTuber, I understand. When people say collab, that means they want to do videos on each other's channels. I guess there's still lots of cool stuff in Moscow that I've not seen. Village project is up on YouTube. American Village project, huge post launch update. Yes, I just think it's just a very, very wild, crazy project that it's a very slow process for that to happen. Mole crawls, yes. My best country ever. Not my favorite drink. There are many alternatives. Yes, I just enjoy this. It's nicer colder. This is at room temperature. It was cold when I was bringing it home. And then I realized it was still in my bag when I got home and I didn't even open it. It cost $3. This was 44 rubles. So 44 cents today. It was on special at the store that I got it from. So I know it was 44 rubles because I looked, and I'm not really that bothered in buying something more expensive. I'll buy the drinks that I like, and I'm happy with them. Good, Mr. Jammer, good night. If you're leaving, thanks for being part of the stream. What time we at? Okay, so we're going to go for, you guys will have to decide, 5 minutes more or 15 minutes more. 5 minutes more or 15 minutes more. Thank you for 330 votes, by the way, on the poll. And overwhelmingly, people want more supermarket videos. Overwhelming. And 212 likes as well. Thank you if you put a like on the live stream. Again, thanks for super chats. Thanks for donation alerts. If anyone might have done SberBank, I don't check my phone while I'm on the streams. That comes to my bank directly. Oh, do you speak on my language? Yes, he just laughed and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. Thank you. Nizgi Tagil. I think we need to do a stream where I have a map on the stream and we can look at people's places where they live. Do you reckon that would be a cool idea? To have a like a Google Maps up, and as people put the name of their place, we'll show it on the world map. Is Russia safe in American terms of crime? Yes. Yeah. Well, I watched a funny SNL thing on the YouTube today, and they talked about this is for someone that's in Chicago, it's not particularly nice. And it says that Chicago, people of Chicago have called, it's the state that's the state that's called for the violence in Israel and in Gaza to stop. And then the people in Gaza have asked Chicago for the violence and the shootings to stop in Chicago because some of the crime rates in American cities is very high. I'm sorry if you're from Chicago, but it was just interesting when I heard it at the time. There are greetings from Ecuador, the home of all the bananas in Russia. Every banana in Russia comes from Ecuador, by the way. Thank you for your bananas, Marco. In Rostov, beautiful country, yes. Is big old McDonald's open as Russian branded ones? Yes, since they closed. So it's what, a year and a half ago when they closed, and then a guy bought them out, all 850 locations, and then reopened them as Kuzny Itochkas. And then in the video that I made, that location has been open probably just a bit over a month now. So they're opening new locations as Kuzny Itochkas. That one I went to in that last video a few days ago wasn't a McDonald's that closed and then they reopened. It was not that. It was never an existing McDonald's restaurant. It was a brand new built Kuzny Itochka restaurant. Pinecone flavor, yes, sounds exotic. Yeah, it's very nice. It grows on you. It's not overbearing pinecone. It's just in the cola taste. Since you've been to South Africa, can you tell us what a Mandela's microwave is? I don't know. I was in Port Elizabeth and in PE. Everywhere is Madiba. They call it Madiba Bay after Mandela. And everything was Madiba this, Madiba that. Maybe it's a Mandela's microwave. Is it a barbecue of some kind? I didn't remember that from when I was there twice. I'm sorry. 15 minutes more. Oh, there we go. Everybody wants 15 minutes. Thank you. I should have looked over at that. Yeah, so we'll go for an hour and a half. So it'll be about 12 minutes now, not 15. And if anybody gives me a donation alerts question that'll make me answer longer, it'll go even longer. More Russell, definitely. Thank you, Ekaterina. Thank you so much. Spasiba. Are there small malls you can go to in Moscow that would be interesting? Small malls. I guess that's more of the ones in the micro districts, like the one where I live. There's a 2-level small mall. It's 3 levels now because they've got the food court. It's 3 levels. So our mall is small and it's 3 levels, but it's not very big. There's a shop. They added a food court and a movie theater and a gym when they did the extension of the one here in Aprilivka. The bigger ones are just more cool because they're just so big. Thank you, James. Catch you later. Sorry if I'm behind. Privyet in Liverpool. Let's open Google Maps. Yeah, let's do that on another stream. Not on this one. We'll do it on another stream. Actually, that'll be the idea for the next stream. Do you have Starbucks? Yes, there's Stars Coffee. Starbucks left Russia. So just keep in mind, though, that when it was Starbucks in Russia, it wasn't the American-owned Starbucks. It was owned by, I think, somebody in Abu Dhabi or in Bahrain. Like the actual franchise owners of the Russian Starbucks was a Middle Eastern owner. And then he sold essentially the real estate of all of the locations. I think there was only 50 or 100 of them in Russia. There wasn't a lot of them. And then a very famous restaurateur in Russia, along with a rapper, Timothy, basically acquired all of these locations and then reopened them as a new coffee brand chain called Stars Coffee. And the bit that most people miss, though, is Timothy being a star or a rapper. That's where Stars Coffee came from. And he also had Black Star Burgers. So we had Stars Burger, now it's Stars Coffee. And it all makes sense if you're here and understand that. When you watch CNN or BBC that says that they closed and reopened, they changed the name and that's it, it's not the case. It may feel like that, but it's not. Thank you. Oh, Peter, thank you for super sticker. €1. Thank you so much for super sticker. Thank you. Really, really and truly. Thank you. Yeah, I won't mention about LGBT things because it's not really part of what I do on the channel. I understand the situation here. People have the right to do as they wish with their life. I mean, what you think of what's right or wrong is everyone's own opinion. It's definitely not, spoken about, or it's not, people don't flaunt it if people are in that situation. People have a right to be as they wish to be. I don't know. I'm not going to get involved in answering because it'll be mixing my words and people will be, recording sound. Like Mexican pineapple soda. Oh, I saw pineapple Fanta today. You knew Constantine in person, didn't you? Yes. Why did he go to so turbo mental and Mandela's microwave tire with petrol around your neck? Wow. Simone with drones. That's an interesting channel name. I won't put the comment up because it's got a few awkward things there. Yes, I did know Constantine. Constantine is very knowledgeable about a lot of things in Russia and his work history and what he was doing and the circles he was in makes him very knowledgeable about Russian life. Obviously grew up here, all his life. And he's very knowledgeable about very specific topics that he can do entire streams on them. When we met, we weren't talking about really anything about all of that. We talk about everything else and everything else, like very easy guy to have a conversation with, super easy, you can talk about anything and, and it just flows. Tahoon, yes, the green, this is not green, but the green sodas, yes, I don't like Tahoon. I should just tell everybody in Russia that I like everything, right? And everyone will love me even more. Yes, that's Avia Park with the big fish tank. Yes, Avia Park, the biggest mall in Europe, the biggest mall in Russia. Very big place. I mean, it's not necessary to go there for all the shops. You can go to another big shopping mall in another area closer to where you live and have a similar experience with all the shops. Even Solaris or Salarevo shopping center, Solaris shopping center, where I go to, has a few hundred shops that I don't need to go to Avia Park to find something more. Maybe there's a few shops extra there, but my Russian-speaking wife, we love your videos. Thank you, Mike. Hope everything is good in Spain. Do you have lots of siestas? Did you notice, if you maybe watched the Kuznetochka video, the shopping center next to it was called Siesta Shopping Center. Trgovec Center Siesta. Tahun is so good. We buy it by the case. Wow. That's pretty impressive if you do. One of the most delicious drinks I've ever tried in my life is Tahun. If it wasn't for my wife, I would never have tried it. Maybe I need to give it another try. People do those, Australian guy tries Russian food for the first time videos, It's a pot for cooking outside on fires on 3 legs. Madiba's microwave. A poiky pot. Are you talking about a poiky pot? If you're talking about that, I know what you're talking about. Poiky pot. Now I'm looking to see if you reply quickly. Yes. There's so many new fizzy drinks now in Moscow. There is a lot. I mean sodas, yes. I know what you mean. Fizzy drinks. Russian cuisine pancakes. What products do you miss? I like pancakes. I don't have them very often though. When we went to my wife's auntie's place in Ufa and Davlekanova, she made pancakes every morning, like big stack of them. She was a cook in factories, like in the canteens, in the stolovas, in the factories. So she cooks like she's cooking for like a whole room of guys. Yeah. So yeah, products do I miss? Maltesers, Kit Kats, Tim Tams, pretty much anything else. A gravy mix, Oxo gravy, Oxo cubes we've got here because we brought a lot back from Australia. Gravox, gravy mix. Very silly things that I miss. Do you eat kangaroo? We've had it in Australia. My wife hasn't because she doesn't believe in having kangaroos. You can buy it in the supermarket. It's readily available in butcher shops. One of our clients, difficult to please the old Woodside. Yes. Yeah, this is the sponsor. Because of Western Australia and Dockers and stuff, Woodside is a big deal in Western Australia. Appreciate it. Thanks for replying. You're welcome. They don't really have any English language on the satellite channels we have in this apartment. I think there might be one that just teaches English. And that's it. There's not English channels like movies and TV shows and things like that. Pretty much for that, I can download stuff and put it on a thumb drive and put it on the TV. Even like when there's some TV series like White Lotus, my wife and I sat and watched all the White Lotus episodes. Yeah, kangaroo burgers. They're not that pricey at the super. You can get them at Coles and Woolies in Australia. Grumble tummy mixed with ginger ale, even better. Wow. Got a bit of a dodgy stomach. Have some tahun. Do you sometimes cook something at home? Thank you again. Yes, spaghetti bolognese, shepherd's pie. That's my extent of my cooking. Tim Hortons coffee. There are no Tim Hortons in Russia. No. Timbits. There's something. We didn't have that in Australia, by the way, but I know Timbits from working on cruise ships and going to Canada. How long have you been in Russia? I've been here a lot of years, 9 years. My Russian is not particularly good. I can get by when I need to. And that's about it. Tucson, Arizona. Follow Plushenko. Yes. Is it Yevgeny Plushenko? What's his name now? The swimmer. Oh my gosh, I went to that swimming event on that video that I made, the ice swimming, and a Russian swimmer that I know from the Olympics and World Championships, he's now retired. He was at that event the day before, and people I mentioned that I know this Russian swimmer, I forgot his name, Alexander Popov, and they're like, yeah, he was here yesterday. I'm like, what? He's like a hero, swimmer for Russia. And he'd also been to Perth. He was at the World Championships when I was there in 91. And he was here yesterday. You've been to Fremantle before, yes, or Frio. If you've been there, you've been to Frio, not Fremantle. Nice and cheap, 320 rubles. That's how I like it. Yes, classic, big hit meal. You can actually get 2 burgers for 320 rubles if you don't want the drink and fries. They've got 2 burger promotion as well. Anyone really watch TV in the US after all? There is YouTube. Yes, I think it's becoming more of a thing, right? It's very tasty, but eat it rare. Same as kangaroo, I think. Yeah, right, because it's very lean meat. You don't need to overcook kangaroo. When you do cook it, I barbecued it when I've done it. In English in Moscow. Yes, I don't really listen to any radio stations here. Maybe the taxis got them on sometimes. RT, yes. Do you miss your family back? I do. Yes, I mean, I was there 2 months ago, Oleg. So it wasn't so long ago that I was there. I didn't miss something, did I? No, it's all right. I miss just talking to them. I mean, I can video call them and chat with them and everything like that. No worries at all. Like we're in the same room. Like this, literally, we can just do that same chatting. But, just sit on the sofa, watch TV, flick the stations over, You can do a lot more talking a lot quicker when you're face to face, right? RT for real news. They hurl at it as here in the US. Yeah. Do you think a Latin American food restaurant could be successful? I guess it would be. I mean, the thing is with a lot of Russians who have traveled to other countries. So a lot of Russians have been to India, been to Thailand, been to Vietnam, been to Turkey. So those restaurants are popular because people relate with them because they've been there. Maybe a Mexican restaurant where a lot of people have been to Cancun, Playa del Carmen. You can get charter flights to Cancun from Moscow and do like all-inclusives. So maybe a Mexican restaurant would probably work more than, let's say, Latin American restaurant. You won't find as many people have been to places like Peru or South American countries. I would love to go to the figure skating championships if I could know the time and date of it, and you can let me know on Telegram. Like with going to that swimming thing, someone let me know the time and date and what time to come there, what day to come there, where to be. I'll happily turn up to anything. I always just struggle to find things online here with timings of things because it's hard to find the specific websites of it. So writers and actors are on strike. So not much TV. Three Stooges. Not really. I know of it, but I've never watched it. Do your relatives follow you on YouTube? My dad watches my YouTube. I think my mum does. He comments a lot more now. So he actually he told me that he watched the live streamer from a few days ago. So I don't know if he watched it on replay, maybe not live, because it's like 5 a.m. in the morning in Australia now. Telegram, I don't think anyone that's related to me follows me on Telegram because most people don't know Telegram in Australia. So, yeah, I know for sure some of my family members are YouTube subscribers. Whether they watch all the videos, I don't know because they probably don't want to watch me on a video. Cuban restaurant. Yeah, people have been to Cuba. I think the Mexican one would be a thing because people know tacos and burritos and things like that. Cuban food's quite specific that, it's difficult in Moscow because there's so many restaurants, so many places to eat, so many places to buy food that, it's got to work very quickly. And if not, it won't work. Their tasting could be easily made here. Yeah, Taco Bell and Chipotle. Yeah, right. These in fast food places, absolutely. Taco Bell would be a big deal if they had that in shopping centers. Definitely. Is it lagging my camera or is it me? I need to move around less. I've had Telegram for more than 10 years. Yes, I think that's since I met my wife. That next day I had it. There are taco places here in Russia. I don't think I've ever been to a taco place though. Did you try Russian smoked fish with a beer? I don't really like it. We did have it for New Year and at our friend's birthday. She always has the different fish on the table. A lot of the like raw fish, I guess, like smoked fish, not the dry ones. I don't like those. I know what you mean though, but I don't like those. But any of the like most people know salmon, right? You just eat raw salmon, but there's other fish. Like she had like a whole plate of maybe 5 or 6 different types of fish. Wow, we got through the camera, the micro. What did I press for that microphone not to work? I wonder. I think I pulled the cable. That's why it didn't work. Can't you hear the? Can you hear them thunder? Yes, you're doing all the lines to Men at Work now. Can you hear them thunder? Did you know they had to change the name of Sovietskaya Champansky to Sovietskaya Igra? Not the Latvians getting nostalgic. The French, yeah. There's a lot of sparkling wines here. I think I even pointed out on the video today. Russian champagnes. Sovietskoy Champanskoy. Yeah, I guess it's a thing, right? Like cognacs from cognac in France, champagnes from Champagne. Wasn't there one with cheese as well? There was a certain cheese that you couldn't call it that if it wasn't from there. Taco bar, Prinatskaya Street. Thank you. Yeah, I guess it's down to who's the cook, and because I think that's critical. Like that, when you go to a Chinese restaurant, you expect people from China cooking the food, right, or Vietnam or Thailand food, Thai food, and I think there's a lot more taste and enjoyment when you go to that kind of restaurant with that kind of chef versus, like in Australia, you go to a roast dinner place and there's some guys from Vietnam in the kitchen cooking it, whereas you want that authentic roast dinner, and there's a guy from Vietnam making it. He's never made that all his life. He learned to make it, but they have Subway in Russia. Yes, Jersey Mike's no, because people wouldn't know it. What's the other one? That's the firefighters one. Back and all the sandwiches are named with firefighters and stuff like that. Yes, definitely Subway in Russia. Yes, I think some of them have renamed now with the Russian Cyrillic name. I haven't checked. I remember the one at Megatropolistan. They changed the name last time I was there. I forgot that other place, not Jersey Mike's, but it's one that's Firehouse. Is it called Firehouse Subs? I went to the one in Galveston. No Jack in the Box. It's not in Australia either, Jack in the Box. No. We've got, what's the Mexican we've got in Australia? Oh my gosh. It's named with two people. It's a Mexican restaurant chain that opened recently. Would go for the Russian vodka in that case. Yeah, I mean, because of the import and the parallel imports and the logistics and supply chain of getting imported goods to Russia will always push the price up. Whereas vodka being pretty much all domestic, it's cheaper. That's a given. Five Guys is another burger place that would work here as well. Imagine that five Olegs or five Alexeys or five Vladimirs. Sorry. Five Guys is very nice. I had that in Fort Lauderdale. I had it, and I had it over in San Francisco. I had it there as well. I opened a Korean Jewish restaurant that's doing very well. Planning to open a branch in Khabarovsk. Wow, Korean restaurant. I guess it could work. Korean food. Korean noodles are popular here. You can buy them in every supermarket. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was a Chinese supermarket that I went to in Moscow. It was not a supermarket. It was a shop. And there was crowds of people in there that day we went through there. No, it's not translating. Okay, it's not translating the last word there. Yeah, Russia, but whiskeys are more expensive. Correct. Yeah, I mean, if you actually compare it to Australia, it's still cheaper when you do the exchange rates on even a lot of import like Jack and Jack Daniels, but it's considerably higher than what vodka is as a price, or brandies and armagnacs. Subfresh. Yes, that's the name of Subway in Russia. Subfresh. Thank you. I like the interactiveness. If I'm caught up with the live stream, the interactiveness of what I'm saying is quicker in the comments. Subfresh. Yeah, Firehouse Subs. That's the one I had in Galveston. When you come right off the cruise ships in Galveston, there's a Starbucks across the street, and then there's a Firehouse Subs next door to it. And every crew member is in that Starbucks getting free Wi-Fi. They're not really getting coffee; they're getting free Wi-Fi. Yeah, Thai places are. Yeah, Thai is very popular here in Moscow as well. In every shopping center, Carlos and Charlie's Mexican restaurant. I know that from Cozumel. Carlos and Charlie's. Man, I've been there. Where's that Chinese shop? It's in. Okay, so at Komsomolsk, where I was today at the 3 stations square in Moscow. There's the old. Is it Moscow Shopping Center? I don't know what the name of it is, but it's this real Soviet-looking shopping center next to the train stations, and it's essentially a very big Rinok kind of market. And then up on about the 3rd level, and in a random little laneway where you walk around all these little, pop-up shops, there was that Chinese shop there. There was a DNS where we went to as well. So if you know, is it Universe Mag? Not Red Square Center, no. Universe Mag. It's the shopping center next to Komsomolskaya, Kazanskaya train stations. When you come out to the street, and then there's a big shopping center next to it. It's not, but it's just Soviet looking. It's got that, brutalist sort of concrete look to the shopping center. And it's on the 3rd level in there. So if you can get that, it's there. I would never have known it's there. I would have never found it. We kind of just wandered around trying to look for other shops in there, and we came across it. And I bought some really nice, I've not had them since. I've finished them. Bought some nice, actually, I'm pretty sure they were Korean. They maybe weren't Chinese. I think they were Korean noodles, pot noodles. Russian language. All credit to you, Russell, that you can get by there. Yes, thanks. My wife helps me with things I can't really get by. We are going to have to go back to Australia to fulfill my wife's visa for citizenship. We need to spend 12 months in Australia in the next 3 years. I think we've got 3 years before we need to ultimately get on the plane. And we're not too sure at what will happen, but we need to be, my wife needs to be there. I can stay here. She can go there. And the minute she steps in the country, she's got 365 days to wait to then apply for her citizenship and then get her Australian passport. Philly cheesesteak, yes. Very nice. They do, like where they do the shawarma on the hot cooking thing, and then they chop it up. If they could figure out to put that and then cheese and put it on a kind of a baked bread roll, then that would be good. But it's located in a dry county. Yeah, very famous. Travel with BG. Yes. In a dry county. But you can get the water there, right? You can buy souvenir bottles there. That's the way they get around it, because it's souvenir bottles and not, selling actual alcohol there. And you can go to the spring and get the Jack Daniels bottle of water. Fire subs here in Dallas. Yeah, maybe it's a Texas thing. Yeah, there's one in Galveston. Moskovsky. Is it called Togovets Center Moskovsky, maybe? That's probably the name of it. Couldn't remember the name of that place. And then we went to go look for a suitcase for my friend when we were there. I know they make cognac. Yes, when I went to that beer, I went to the Russian whiskey expo or convention, and they had some whiskeys there and beers and stuff. Cyrillic alphabet. For me as a Spanish speaker, it has been a challenge to learn the alphabet in printing and calligraphy. Yes. I'm slowly getting better at it because I know a few letters of the alphabet. And then if I just sound out the letters that I know from a word, I can usually catch what it means. Timu, no. We've got wild berries and ozon here. We don't need Timu. That's just way too many pieces of junk. We don't need any more Chinese things in the world. Moskovsky, yes. PC got a dash. Bye. Thank you, Sergeant Rocco. Thank you so much for the super chat earlier. Sergeant, no. Did you do super chat? Or you were talking about doing a super chat? Or one of them? You were talking about it earlier. Thank you. Yeah, Nongshim. Yes. A huge worldwide Nongshim noodles. Yes. You can get them in Moscow as well. Absolutely. Makes smile and sense of humor. Thanks, Dennis. Super guy. Yes. How common are they? Okay, so in the 3 weeks we were in Australia, we saw one that was sleeping on the middle of the road, which it probably got hit. They run out in front of cars crossing roads because they don't realize what cars are, and they get hit by cars that drive by. They're more dangerous for your car because your car will get damaged because you're running into a 100, 200 kilo animal at speed. Where we lived and where my parents live is basically what's called semi-rural. So it's suburban areas with bushland nearby, but you don't see the kangaroos as much as you should. In 3 weeks, we saw one. So you'd really have to go outside of the city to the country areas to see them more commonly. There is a golf course where we lived that you can go see them. Literally just park the car, walk on on the 18th or the first and the 18th green at fairways, and they're right there. It's like a very well-known golf course in Perth that has them. Thank you, Peter, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really and truly. Thanks, everybody, for this. Where are we at? 258 likes. I think we're going to end up at my 2-hour live stream time. Looking at the time. Sakhalin Island. I'd love to go over there. That's really on the Far East. And go have some seafood and go have some caviar. Yes, and have some crab. Oh my gosh. That would be absolutely amazing. Just need to know a Telegram member or somebody that will just invite me to stay at their place. I'm sure somebody would give me their sofa for a few days. People don't really eat kangaroo in Australia. You can buy it in the supermarket. It is available in butcher shops. A lot of people like kangaroo meat as pet meat, or roo meat. They'd call it, instead of kangaroo, we call it roo meat. Get some roo meat. People don't really eat it, though. It's very much for tourists and friends and family that might visit Australia. But I think the percentage of sales would be very low. You can get your answers. Yes, Vital. If anyone wants to know anything specific about Russia and you're happy for Vitaly to answer something, go over to the Telegram chat right there and you can ask away any question and you'll get multiple answers from plenty of people in the chat. Absolutely. Yes, I noticed that. We went to buy we went to Dan Murphy's, Jamie. And we went to the vodka section, and it was like quite sad that they had all sorts of vodkas from all sorts of other countries. Yes, I did notice that. It was very noticeable. Yeah, like deer in Australia. I guess in some country areas they've got deer. Maybe over on the East Coast, not in Perth. I start to develop a craving for it. King crab rocks, yes. Fox, deer, kangaroo. Hey, Russell, I'm in Moscow too right now from Oz. When is your fan meetup? I've never had one. We talked about it a million times. 12 lunchtime, Arbat Street, The Bull. You just name a day, and we'll go and have 300 ruble. All you can, well, not all you can eat, but whole menu is 300 rubles per dish. At Arbat, at the Bull restaurants, there's quite a lot of them in Moscow. The Arbat Street one, if you go, it opens at lunchtime. You go there 5 to 12, then there's no waiting. It's always crowded if you go in the evenings. You can't get a seat. You're from Australia and you're in Moscow. How are you okay? It's not really that cold today. Okay, -5. It's been pretty much -1, 2 last few days, so it's kind of got a bit cooler today than the last few days. Really nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll probably end up at the 2-hour mark, which is my Russell typical live stream. I like foreigners who think that in my country we only eat bananas and guinea pig meat. Oh, no. Marco. Yeah, this Ecuadorian bananas. Actually, at the supermarket I went to today, there was a couple of guys there. I'm pretty sure they were managers for the whole supermarket chain, like maybe the big bosses. It looked like. And I asked him because they were talking about fruit and stuff, and we were chatting for a few minutes. And I said, "What's going on with the price of bananas?" And he said, "Oh, there's a revolution in Ecuador." And that's what put the banana price up. Yeah, are Australians, like you're mentioning in your comment? Yeah, I guess it's probably not as extreme as it is probably in the US. I'm not really too sure about Europe because I've not really been there recently. Yeah, it's probably not as outspoken in Australia as it is in America. Yes, it is very common. Spiders, snakes, kangaroos. That's what most people, sharks. People know Australia for shark and shark attacks. Was bombed with nuclear weapons in ancient times. Do you know about it? Maybe ancient abandoned sites. I know that there is a few different. Was it Woomera? I think was one of the places. I know there was some research stations, and then there was a couple of American bases. I think Woomera, if I'm not mistaken, is one of them that you're talking about. Alternative history research thinkers. I mean, I don't know everything about everywhere. I know a little bit about everything in the world, but I don't know. Australia was bombed with nuclear weapons in ancient times. I don't think that was a thing. Maybe they had some testing, especially in rural areas where there's nothing. The place with underground apartments is, gosh, oh, Cooper Pedy. Cooper Pedy is the one that with the underground housing. I'm pretty sure that might be the only place that I know of. I'm planning to come to Kaliningrad. I don't have a plan unless Oleg, someone sends me a ticket or a train, or someone wants to come on the train with me to go there. I think there's quite a few people that have covered, especially people that have traveled from Europe through to Russia by train and bus and all sorts of different way of filmed their stuff on YouTube channels recently. It's going to be minus 18 on Friday. Oh, then I'll have to get out the scarf and the gloves and a little bit of extra. Today, I didn't even have scarf and gloves at all with me today. I just had my beanie on and I was fine. I did notice it was cooler on the way home, though, the last kind of walk from the bus to the house. But have you experienced any paranormal activity in Russia? Not at all, mate. I don't go out and do things and go late night. And I guess there's a lot of abandoned places that you could definitely go to and feel that or experience that. I've never go out and do things like that here. So really wasn't a good move for American companies. Yeah, I mean, it's their choice if they dollar bill your name from billions. Dollar bill was one of the people in billions. Yeah, I guess a lot of companies chose to leave. They weren't made to leave. I know you live in a big city. Oh, it's not a big city where I live. I'm about 50 kilometers from Moscow. I live in Moscow region. Do you think rural people are open to foreigners? Yes, absolutely, Marco. Yes. A lot of people are just intrigued by people from other countries and what brought them to Russia, and understanding what their values are as compared to people in Russia's values are. Yeah, I mean, probably if you're going to go to more rural places, you'll definitely need to know the language more because far less people will speak English. Where the kids learn it in school and things like that, but there is no concern for conscription for foreigners. Not at all. Zero concern. Sanctions do not work. Only made everyone in Russia. Okay. Public transport's not free in Russia. It is if you're retired, I believe. You have like the social cards and stuff like that you can use. I don't think Pralivka is big enough. No, it's not a big city at all. It's a town. I guess it's a town, is it? I guess based on the population. Narofominsk is a little bit more, or Narofominsk. Maybe there's more people in Soletino than a Pralivka. Public transport's no, it's definitely not free. No, not at all. It's cheap though. I mean, it's cheap to a point that it's very, very, very reasonable to use public transport. If I saw a lizard in a supermarket or a snake under my sofa, how have you lived there? Is it a sort of daily? Yeah, look, where we lived was in newer housing, so we didn't really have any experience. We had spiders, redback spider I found in my spare bedroom once. Maybe that came in on my bag or in a shopping bag or something. We don't know how it got inside the apartment in Australia. Geckos and stuff, it depends on people's houses. You might see lizards and geckos, maybe like the goannas are about this big. Well, geckos are only this big. They're not so big. The bigger racehorse goannas are in the bush. The big lizards, the proper ones, they're not in suburban areas at all. Snakes, it'll really depend on the area and how much housing has been, how much bush area has been removed to create housing. How many time zones are in Russia? There are 11. Look, someone already answered. Still sell items from America, but just have a different store name. There's no shopping stores have changed names in Russia. None whatsoever. A lot of American companies have manufacturing in Russia. So there is a lot of brands that look like they're imported and they're domestically produced. Like Lay's are made in Russia. They're not imported Lay's chips. Okay, everybody. I think I'm going to wrap it up. Moscow native and Moscow have the best healthcare in Russia. Now, the thing is, right, you can get free healthcare and then you can get paid private medical care. And the thing is, this is the same in Australia. You can get free healthcare or you can pay for private health insurance. Or if, for instance, if you need to have a surgery, you can go on a waiting list in Australia, 1, 2, 3 years. Or if you want to pay and go through private health insurance or private healthcare, you can basically book an appointment and get your surgery done in a matter of days or weeks if you're willing to pay the full price. If you're going on to, this is Australia I'm talking about, if you go onto a waiting list 1, 2, 3 years because of the backlog of treatments that people need or surgeries or healthcare, I would imagine that's very similar here as well, because obviously it's impossible for the government to satisfy every citizen in Russia because of the large population. Where people talk about their horror stories, that's the same horror stories in Australia. It would be in England, somebody in Ecuador here, some Australians in the chat, Americans. And, it's really down to what you can afford for the cost of healthcare. So, for me, I didn't have in Australia when I was living there with my wife, she had private health insurance. She paid for that. I didn't, because I chose not to pay for it. And if I was sick, I would go to a hospital. I'd be in a line to wait. Whereas my wife with private health insurance can get better care quicker because it's funded. I don't have a plan to go to St. Petersburg at the moment. We have a plan to try to buy an apartment. That's what we're trying to do. And then we have got 2 possible trips planned and 1 secret trip. Hello from Sweden. Sunni, hello. We're just about to leave. But thank you. You can scrub back and watch it again or things like that. No Australian authorities will do anything because there's an Australian embassy here. So I can just go there and hang out there if I need to. There's an Australian embassy in Moscow. Are you planning to come back to Russia for a permanent stay or live in Australia? We're still not sure of all of that. Really not. We've got a new idea every day of the week. If we go, yes, right. Yes, thank you. Hope we go the virtual travel around Google Maps on the next one. Yes, I can put up a separate screen share of Google Maps, and we can basically click a town or a city and have a look at what photos are on there and see how much people think that's where they live. Yes, there is free healthcare like there is in England and Australia. Yes, my wife has had the doctor come here when she had an allergic reaction to fish, and the ambulance came, the doctor came, they come right to your bedroom. Basically, the paramedics with the doctor come, and it's completely free. You give them your documents, they fill out all the forms. Our hospital is down the road, so literally it's 5 minutes or 10-minute walk maximum to get there. But yes, completely free. Big cultural difference. I guess maybe initially there is. These are very long-winded questions that are very difficult to answer. Yes, in most Asian countries you can only lease them. Yeah, same in Bali. Definitely, you can't own them. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Sorry, I'm just reading the last few comments there. I think it's very hard to answer some things because they're very much 30-minute answers, which this is all based on my opinion. I mean, talking about healthcare, if I didn't go to a hospital and get sick, I can't really talk about my experiences of it. Yes, also Yandex has too. Yandex in Russia has very, very... Oh, sorry, that was the wrong comment. Yandex has very good 3D mapping, which I used today actually when I was using my phone. And you can basically put the angle of the map and see the buildings. Thank you. Yes, come on, Russell, come back. We need fan meetings. Yeah, I guess we need to do something like that through Telegram. Not really here in the stream, but we just need to figure out a place and time and go and do it. Thank you, Newt. Thank you so much. The only Newt I know is Newt Cloisters, who was the founder of Norwegian Caribbean Line, which went on to become Norwegian Cruise Line, and it was what was Carnival Cruise Line. So Newt Cloisters and Ted Arison founded what was Norwegian Caribbean Line. I've never really fully learned Russian, so it took a lot of years. I would imagine if I did a few lessons per week, I reckon within a couple of years you could pick it up, like conversation. It's really a matter of how dedicated you are to sit down and properly study. That's probably the key part of that. Oh, Vitaly, thank you so much. I know you're an excellent moderator on the channel. And as Vitaly mentioned, if anyone wants to join us over on the chat, on Traveling with Russell channel on chat, literally you can post any of these questions there and you'll get an answer. AJ, impossible question. Very, very different. -5 outside now. Australian summer, so obviously the opposite weather is making it impossible to compare. You know, I'm happy in cold weather. I like it when it snows, when it properly snows with big flakes. That's beautiful. When it's like 0 degrees and proper snowing, or -1 or 2, you know, it doesn't have to be that cold. Yes, it's soccer in Australia and football in the whole world. And soccer in America. Yes, I call it football because I'm not really in Australia anymore. So, watching from Belgium. Thank you. I'm about to leave. Thank you, everybody, for the live stream. I really hope you've enjoyed today. Hello from Moscow. Thank you, Mr. Optimus. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Yes, 290 likes. We didn't quite reach 300. It's okay. I think with more likes than viewers, it's going to always be impossible to get to that higher number. But 290 is huge thank you. Maybe someone just popped in and left. Thank you, whoever just clicked the heart. I just saw one of them going by. Thank you for people who did super chats. Really and truly thank you. Just one step closer to our apartment. And thank you to Men at Work, Adequate Xiaomi Guy for donation alerts. Thank you so much. Actually, sometimes donation alerts come in when I'm not live streaming because it comes up on my phone the next day as a transaction. So, yeah. Oh, 307. What? Can't stop that feeling. Oh no, that's not the song. 309 now, and you were the 300th. Wow, thank you. Whoever's clicked it in the last few seconds. Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody. I'll see you in another live stream. If you like them, keep telling me. Good deal. You like my grocery store videos. You've got one coming up tomorrow. A new store that no one's seen on YouTube. I'm pretty sure this might be I should have mentioned that when I filmed it, right? This might be the only video on the whole of YouTube of this store. And I didn't. 309. Yes, 311. Oh, Ivana. Ivanka. Joanna. Sorry. Oleg, thank you. 311. Yes. Very well. Good live stream. What we should do, Joanna, we should have you on as a special guest, as a international traveler who's been to Russia, and you could talk about your experiences of Russia. Would you want to be the next person next to me on the screen and I ask you questions? I am trying to do that for Sam's Russian adventure. I'm trying to get Sam on here, Samuel, on here. We're trying to figure out a time when it suits him really more than me. And we can, I can interview him on this live stream. Okay, catch everybody later. Watch another video. Post a comment below this if you like. Perhaps if you haven't watched the Tesla video, if you haven't watched the ice swimming video, if you haven't watched the Kuzna Itochka video, I think most people might have caught up on the last 4 or 5. Or just go and click oldest first and check up an old video. Maybe that's a thing to do. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in another stream. Bye.